Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the reality guys and producers must insist that none of these opinions be taken as facts. Now, please enjoy the show.
Is that a menorah pillow? All right.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
Kevin.
Hello.
And Waleed.
What's up?
As you can see by the title, we are here to review the Amazing Race season finale. Overall, I just want to say right off the top, I thought this was a great finale. I really enjoyed all 2 hours. I don't feel like it dragged at all. I like the pace of there being multiple roadblocks and multiple challenges. This final 2 hours to me felt the most like a normal Amazing Race leg or episode, like old seasons without the COVID restrictions. I think it was probably easier because they were in the US.
Dude, that's such a good way of looking at it because I feel the exact same way. It was like a nail biter the entire time. You kind of understood the format of what was going to happen. There's going to be one elimination midway through, but like, I don't know if it was the fact that they were in the US or what, but it was much more neck and neck. It felt like, and it didn't feel like editing was involved in any way.
Very true. Brian, what were your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, this is my first season. This is a show I actually really like. I enjoyed it. Just nice to cover a show that you don't hate watch every week. But
what do you mean?
What do I
give up on?
It was just, I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I liked that, even though like I was rooting for Brian and Dusty, obviously, but like the final three, any of those teams deserve to win. Like I'm happy that the top three teams were competing for the end. So it was just fun to watch.
Waleed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's my first season in God knows how long. It's been forever. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, basically a show that we don't hate watch. What we would say about The Bachelor, make The Bachelor 1 hour. They should make Amazing Race 2 hours every week. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
There we go.
Yes. I was like,
after
the first hour, it's like team got eliminated. It's like, all right, let's continue the race. Let's go.
Right.
I did like that. So obviously another thing we're going to cover off top, and we're going to run through a lot of what happened because there was a lot of good stuff that we want to cover, but you guys just want to get to it?
Yeah. Well, how do you want to do it? You're going to go?
No, you know what I'm talking about.
First hour and then continue.
I mean, everyone's ready for everyone's just ready for my to just guys. The Holderness family won.
No.
Yeah, Bill's #1 pick from day one.
No, I can't help it. My other team had the pregnancy stuff, but we all even knew as I picked my team. I was always kind of flirting with the Holderness family. I was their biggest fans. I was the biggest fan of them on this show by far. I loved it. I thought it was neck and neck, and like Penn was right. It was a lot of the mental game. They didn't really get too high or too low during this race. I mean, they were always consistently towards the top, but they didn't really have. I can't remember any blow-ups or like catastrophes in their game. We can't really say that about anybody else that was left even at the end here. All it had, catastrophic legs that either got bailed out by something or by having a team just be really worse than them. So
simply put, like they realistically just played a great game. Mm-hmm. And it comes full circle in that last challenge where it's like, oh, I drew pictures of all the notable things. And I mean, who crazy to that? They deserve 100% to win. You know what I mean? Like, cheerio, good job.
Yeah.
You fit. And Bill, you also deserve your good pick and fandism. I'm fan.
I was a fan. I was just more of a fan. It's less about the pick. I really just genuinely like them. Everyone knows.
Right.
But you know what? They are good, genuinely good people. And not only
can't hate on them.
Literally, I mean, one of the teams I'll never forgive myself for being such an awful, picker when it comes to reality TV shows. But I picked Akbar and Sherry to win this freaking race at the beginning before we even know who these people were, like personality wise. And I knew right first episode that was horrible, a horrible pick. but
Dude,
but their skill set, complements each other very well. They both have a very good skill set and they complement each other real well. So I mean, she actually like her memory, I mean, like keeping everything down, that
Wild.
paid off in the end,
Insane. Very good.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. So let's bring it back now that we gave the overall reaction. So we loved the season. We loved the finale. We were happy with the winners. I mean, we've never been able to say that about a Bachelor season that we covered. So let's kick it back to the beginning. This was a 2-part finale. The penultimate leg was in Portugal. It was in Lisbon specifically. They had a lot of cool stuff there. This one I thought was funny. One of my favorite ones of the season was the boat one, where you had to pick a boat that was either had to be a Portuguese explorer. So they had a bunch of boats that had Portuguese explorers, but also just random Portuguese celebrities. Most notable was our boy Arun, who had a real tough time with rowing and with knowing who the people were. So Waleed, I'll start with you on this one. What was your thoughts on the row your boat?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we predicted like after the first hour, we all said like, oh yeah, they're going to be out this first leg here in this finale. And we knew right away. Honestly, Natalia, his daughter, I feel like she does pretty good. I feel like the reason they lose usually or come in last is usually because of something that he does. It's like, as a father, you should know how to row a boat. I don't know. Like, it's
what a line. Wait, I love that line. As a father, you should know how to row a boat.
You can't operate.
Guess what? I'm having a kid. Holy shit. Have you even learned to row a boat yet? No, that's not.
What a line.
Right. You know how to row a boat? You're expecting.
I know. Our friend is going to review me hard on that one, I'm sure. But it's okay. I don't know.
It's the luck of the draw. This may not be our minute.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like, but no one else knew how really, and they all caught on quickly. I mean, like they eventually got the hang of it. So
I would like to kind of counter offer this. The long run, would you prefer him being the one counting the pillars?
No, at that point, I mean,
and have to run a quarter mile. I think it was the right play on their team.
Yeah, but they didn't know that they were going to the pillars.
Right. But I mean, being said, how much more awful would this be if it was switched around?
Listen, I agree with you. I mean, even if you had given both of the options, I would have assumed that he would have been able to row the boat as equal or better than her. But obviously that wasn't the case. And we saw her kill the counting one, though, too. I mean, I think she got it on one shot.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody think he was going to get lost rowing the boat?
Listen, guys, they were an anomaly. They were like a George Mason.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
they were George Mason if the NCAA tournament was like quadruple elimination. I mean, everyone forgets like they got eliminated. Like they were out. They got eliminated because they already got eliminated.
Yeah. No, this is not an elimination round. Like they made it by the skin of their teeth, and I'm good for them. You know what I mean? Like,
I like them. They were nice people.
I need to say something about these people. The painting thing, I started to have a little nervous breakdown when they were doing the painting, and Dusty and Ryan weren't painting the doorknob, but no other team had to paint the doorknob.
Yeah,
was that bullshit to anybody else?
I noticed that too. Actually, I did kind of notice that too.
I didn't notice what was wrong at first too because I didn't catch like the first time they highlighted what they missed, and I'm like, what the hell do they not have?
Also, I'm pretty sure the rules
doorknob, I was like, that's cheap.
Not everything to go like. I mean, like, did they have to paint the hinges and all that shit? No, I don't think so. Like,
no.
But I did notice that the Natalie and her dad, or Natalia and her dad, they did that. Yeah, it was supposed to. And I was like, yo, they didn't. They
let them go.
But then they like showed a side angle real quick, and you could see they painted like the base of where the doorknob like connects to the door. You know, like that circle, like place thing.
Over the locker.
So they did get it, but like technically, by the way that this judge was looking at this and
the mayor,
the mayor, yeah, it didn't make sense to the rules. It was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna come on his show hot if they lost because of that.
Yeah.
Well, something I think actually found interesting, and it was something we were calling for, I think, earlier in the season, was it did seem like the staggered positions from the beginning actually ended up making a pretty significant difference, because that order held pretty well, and I think had a difference. I think if Ryan and Dusty had been able to leave first, like had been first last leg, it would have been a whole different ball game. Now they did end up picking the wrong boat, which that happens, but it was really tight. I mean, it was the flight attendants and the Holderness family like throughout 1-2, and they just stayed there through the entire 2 legs.
Right, but I'll like counteract that, and they would have had a better chance of getting like a Portuguese explorer if they were there earlier. You know what I mean? Like if they were in that position.
Yeah.
So like they wouldn't have gotten the wrong. They would have been out.
I thought that was a kind of an easy one, to tell you the truth. I thought that was. I mean, I'm not.
So did I. But like, it's also not easy to climb on the boat, climb off if you like. Once you found out that it was Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever, you get to one that like you're like, oh, maybe this guy is one. I don't know. And there's only there's 8 boats and there's only 1 left.
You were at my bachelor party. I'm really good at rowing boats.
I was not at your bachelor.
I was there.
Brian was there.
Can confirm.
I was on that fucking kayak for a while.
Yeah, is it that hard? A kayak's like this.
It's still you're still doing
like,
the row.
I mean, I don't. It's just like the motion. Eventually,
You
like
just slice the things
understand
in the air, and as they come through the water, that's when you open them back up, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
the thing about it was again. I think we're all just we're all circling around the same idea that it was just staggering that he didn't be able to do that, but we weren't surprised that he was the reason, because he's had a lot of those kind of lumps. But I thought that overall, I mean, like I said, he was good. The other one, so that was like really like one blunder. You had a ruin in the first hour. I had in my notes here really the other main blunder really was at the top of the final leg, and that was where Ryan and Dusty couldn't find the combination on the elevator clue. How'd you guys feel about that? I mean, I thought it was a clever clue, and it sucks for them that it's something like that they lost on.
I mean, all the teams got stuck at one point and throughout this whole season. Like they find moments where they just have frustration and they get stuck. But like when Ryan and Dusty get stuck, they get really, really stuck. They just linger. They linger.
They let it get to their head and like they get frustrated or something.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, it's Dusty, right? Dusty's the one.
The one, yeah.
The not prison guy. The not prison guy was the guy that was super hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
He really likes to remind us the last few weeks how close he is to losing it. We're like, you're not Bruce Banner. You're not the Hulk. He's like, I've always just been on the edge the last few weeks. Like,
I mean, being said, you don't need to remind us of that. We can tell. It's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, even in the last hour, like, they fell behind so bad. Like, there was not even need for editing to make it look like they were gaining ground. Like, you knew they lost ground and it was over. It was just between Raquel and Kaylee and the Hordessons. I mean, you just kind of knew. You're like, okay, it's a 2-team race now, right after they got stuck at the beginning. So
I feel
can we jump to that last challenge? I think that
the pinatas.
No.
Memory?
The one where they had to make the sound
effect.
The
sound effect one.
I thought that was the sickest. Like, first of all, that's an amazing job. That would be so much fucking fun.
So cool
to like do every day. But like the fact that you're just getting thrown into that would be fun in itself. Like, I don't think I would get frustrated ever. It would be shit. Like, it's so interesting.
I don't know. Hitting the pinatas blindfolded was looked like kind of fun too. I mean,
I couldn't tell if like they were all in the same area, but like I guess it was roped off. It'd be cool if they had to like cross each other in there, like.
And they should have actually made them fight each other blindfolded.
That would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
If he just took one to the ribs and he's just down for 10 minutes. And
Dusty's like, I promised I would never hurt another soul, but for $1 million, I have to do it blind.
Oh, dude, that would be amazing.
Doesn't count if I don't see it.
That sound effect thing reminded me of like a Mario Party mini game. where you had to
That's
like
great.
match
Yeah.
things up, and like you had to get who had like 100%. You know how like you do like crazy cutters or facelift.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
they
it
give you the
felt.
percentages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get
That's a
it
great.
right.
That's a great comparison.
That is
It was like that mixed with like Wii Sports.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I mean, again, it was the I have it running down here. Flight attendants were first, Holderness second, all the way through until we get to the final roadblock, which was the memory quiz based off the experiences of the amazing race. And you guys are right. I mean, Kim with the notes and everything like that, they got off really to a hot start. They literally didn't realize all they had to do was switch their coin out off their initial build and they would have been done. I mean, they almost had a perfect score off the top. They mixed it up a little bit, but
Dude, that coin is such bullshit.
Fuck the coin.
Like, that is horseshit. They literally gave him like 20 coins, and it was just
so many coins.
And
right.
You know that they were grabbing it and just seeing
yeah,
something.
you know they just
like
saw
nobody was
on the bottom, and they're like, "I'm done." They never really.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I did like though how every time there was a check, they showed wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is what's wrong.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, guys, like we said, I think this was probably the best 2 episodes of the season, and it's cool that it was the finale. It gives me, obviously, we were positive about the season in general, but it gives me a lot of positive vibes going into the next season, where thankfully it seems like a lot of COVID restrictions have been lifted in a lot of places. So we should be able to get a return to them doing airports again. I missed the cabs. I missed the roadblock, U-turns, all that kind of stuff. And I think that will come back now since they're able to not have to be afraid of all the protocols, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Bill, were you bummed that the Coach Taylor and his wife were not at the welcome party?
Didn't seem like their kind of vibe, their kind of party was at a soccer stadium, not at a football stadium.
Wasn't at the.
I didn't even notice. That's fine.
Well, the cops were there.
I noticed that.
Yeah, well, the cops have had a lot of time to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one gay couple was there. They were like that. That was cool to see them. Like even.
No, I thought I
from
wish
the
they. I mean,
initial-
I'm sure they were all
yeah.
invited.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, so like the one couple broke up. So it really was just that your couple, the team
Coach
that had a
Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, Arun and Natalia were there too. I was surprised they even found their way there. Since
We're probably all in the same flight back, to be fair.
Very valid. No, they
I also
It
have in
was
my
the
notes
next
that there was. I don't
That's
think the
why
host
they
was.
had a shuttle bus to the place. That's it.
I've dogged them enough, actually. Yeah.
I don't think Phil was on the same flight as them. Like where he
Which
was
one?
like,
Phil?
"Okay, guys, see you in LA," and they're like, "Thanks." I don't
I
think
mean,
they were
so-
on the same
I
flight.
mean, of all of the teams, it seems like the biggest fan of the show who's been watching for years is Dusty. And like when they showed up last, Dusty looked over to the Holdernesses and said, "Yeah, you're the oldest people in history to win the race." And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know if they want to hear that right now. Like the oldest people to.
Well, they said that.
Dude,
they
I'd
said
be
that
on
in one of their
cloud nine.
interviews.
You're like,
They
"Fuck
wanted
yeah,
to be.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're young. Like we just beat all you young people.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was probably a compliment to them if they took it the right way.
I think Kim kind of said she was a student of the game too. So I think Kim has watched all the seasons. It
Yeah.
seems
she
like.
referenced that like error sound when you like miss something a couple times.
Oh yeah. And it was like that dong dong dong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great sound effect. We need to get that in our repertoire.
Dude, also she goes, I follow a couple of these TikTokers that do that job, and she's like in tune to show to like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Well, they're in
Well,
the
I don't know
audio
if
and
you call
mixing
them.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like just sound effects and stuff like that. I thought she would have.
They also mentioned this podcast too, but I don't know if you heard it or not.
No, yeah, they mentioned our CBS did.
Yeah, they're like, "Thank you for this great
Stop being so
program."
good. Is that what they said?
You're welcome, CBS. You're welcome for the coverage, and we're helping to foster interest in your show. I mean, it's only been going on for like 30 something seasons, but we're gonna take credit for
Yeah,
it.
You're welcome.
we took it to the next level.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking things to the next level, our next CBS show will be premiering next week, guys. It's one of our favorites. It is Survivor.
Woo woo.
So obviously with Brian and Kevin have seen all the seasons. Waleed and myself have seen some seasons. So it's going to be a great time reviewing. It's going to be on Wednesday nights again. So you guys will be getting these on Thursday mornings. But again, in closing, we love this season. We recommend everyone to check this season out. If you haven't watched all the seasons before this, a lot of them are on Paramount Plus. I've gone back and watched a few seasons already. It's really a good time. And I recommend you guys doing the same. But make sure you like and subscribe. Like I said, there's going to be Survivor coverage, Bachelor coverage, Love is Blind, Reunion. We have a lot of other stuff in the works. We have another Reality Guys conversation that was recorded, and we'll have that out in the next week or two. A lot of stuff. So for myself, Brian, Waleed, Kevin, peace.